Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we continue with our first steps to understanding Nahw. So now we're moving on to phrases. And I'll explain to you what phrases are very shortly. So let's have a quick recap, and let's have a recap and see how phrases links into what we've already studied. So first of all, we studied words on their own. We had ism, fa'il and harf. We covered that. Then we started putting the words together into sentences. And we studied two types of sentences, jumlatun ismiya and jumlatun fi'liya. Jumlatun ismiya is made up of what? Mubtada and khabar. And jumla fi'liya is made up of the fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul and the zarf. Now, you probably have realized from here that mubtada is going to be what? Ism, fa'il or harf? Khabar, fa'il, maf'ul, zarf. All of these are isms here. And this is what going to be fa'il. Keep that in mind. Right. So let's say we have a mubtada. Okay. A khabar. I'm putting it this way because I'm going to give you an English example. So a normal English example would be the sun is rich, for example. So you have one word here. The is, which doesn't come in Arabic. And you have the word rich. This is the khabar. Mubtada, khabar. And is not shown in the Arabic. Correct? Let's say we expand on this. What do? We expand. And instead of saying the sun, we say the tall sun. Instead of one word, obviously the is not really a word, the is just a definer, determiner. It defines and shows its ma'rifah. But now we've got two words together here. What do we have? Two words. What's tall sun?
Would the word tall still be classed as khabar?
Classed as mubtada?
Subject. Yeah, no, information about the subject.
No, that's slightly different. Because now, if you look at it, what are we talking about? We're saying rich. Yeah. Who is rich?
The sun.
We're not saying the sun is tall. We're describing the sun.
Yeah, okay, it's descriptive, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's descriptive. So now, this whole thing becomes the mubtada. Not the sun on its own, but the tall sun. So like say, for example, a person's got a short sun and a tall sun. Who is not the subject of our conversation? The tall sun. So now, the sun has been expanded a bit. So two or more words now take the slot of that mubtada. Instead of saying sun, I say this sun, not that sun. So this sun. So again, what's happening now? We're using the word this with the noun to become part of the mubtada. So the mubtada is now expanding. It's not one word anymore. This is the basic mubtada we've done before. Allah is the Lord, or Muhammad is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nuh is a messenger. Simple mubtada was being a single word. Now we're saying we're expanding on the mubtada. We're spreading the mubtada out. And this is what we call a phrase, that two or more words take the slot, or take the position of one slot. Not the sun, but the man's son. Now here we're saying we are attributing which son? The man's son. Now in all of these, well, this is a basic one, but in these three, what's happening? That the mubtada is not a single word anymore. Two words joined to become the mubtada. Give an example, the fa'il. So for example, we have here, the friend swam. Very basic. But the lazy friend swam. Who's doing the swimming? But not only friend swam, we're describing the friend. Which friend? That friend. So the mubtada, the fa'il, this is fa'il now, isn't it? Subject. In Arabic, obviously, the mubtada and the fa'il are both called the subject. But in this scenario, it's called the fa'il. Because he's doing the verb. So it's the lazy friend, that friend, the boy's friend. What are we doing now? We're expanding the mubtada. You understand? Or we expand the mubtada here, and here we expanded the fa'il. So wherever an ism comes, whether it's a mubtada, whether it's a khabar, whether it's a maf'ul, the fa'il, the zarf, instead of being one word on its own, what can it be now? Two or more words. Example, maf'ul. I saw. What did I see? The friend, lazy friend, that friend, the boy's friend. So look, we can have maf'ul as a single word, or we can expand the maf'ul into slots. Or we can expand the maf'ul into a phrase. So where that maf'ul slot, which is the orange handwriting, or the orange font, that maf'ul is not only one word anymore. What is it becoming? More than one word. So where more than one word join to become a single unit and take the place of one of the slots, mubtada, khabar, fa'il, maf'ul, zarf, then you see this is a phrase. So here, in these three, the mubtada is becoming a phrase. In these three, the fa'il is becoming a phrase. And in these three, last three, what's happening? the maf'ul becoming a phrase. That can happen in anything, even in the zarf and the khabar. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you understand how it works? So a phrase is a group of words that take the place of a noun. So for example, you have this. Jumla, ismiya, fa'iliya, mubtada, khabar, fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul, and zarf. As you mentioned before, all of these are ism except the fa'il. So what's the rule now? Wherever there's an ism, this even applies in English. Wherever there's an ism, a noun, what can happen? You can split that slot and divide it into two. This is a fa'il. That would happen to a fa'il, but ism. So in all of these, you can have two words taking that one place. So for example, mubtada khabar, I'll give you an example for now. So the boy is healthy. The small boy is healthy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Fa'il, the big boy kicked. The big boy kicked small ball. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now, the fa'il can't happen to the fa'il because the fa'il is a verb, it's not a noun. But wherever a noun would normally come, you can now split that ism into two or more words. Okay? It's not mubtada khabar. In mubtada khabar, what happens? We say the boy is tall. The boy is one entity, mubtada. Tall is another entity, the khabar. Two separate slots. And what we're saying here is that we're making those two words join to become part of the mubtada. The tall boy is. That means that the mubtada is now two words, a phrase. You understand what you were asking before?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay? Make sense? Right. Now the first one I want to go run through with you is the descriptive phrase. I mean a phrase we use an adjective. For example, you have big man, rich boy, tall boy. So it's made up of two words. A descriptive phrase is made up of two words. Now man is what? What is it in a grammatical aspect? What is it?
Ism.
It's an ism, it's a noun.
Yeah.
And this is a
Adjective.
adjective. Adjective does the describing. So in English, you have the adjective first, the describing word first, and then after that, you'll have what? The thing you are describing, which is in our example, the word man. That is called the noun. That's how the English structure is made. What about Arabic?
It's a noun and then the adjective.
Use a noun first. So for example, let's say you want to say Rabb.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to say forgiving Lord. So in Arabic, in English, you have forgiving, adjective, Lord. But in Arabic, it'll be different. Use a noun first. You bring the noun first. For example, Rabb. Then what do you bring?
Adjective.
The adjective. And becomes what? Rabb Ghafoor.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? Right. Now, the last thing you have to remember is now this. That the noun and the adjective, they must both match in ding. What's ding again?
Definite, indefinite.
Definite, indefinite.
Number.
I is for? I'rab. Number and G is for? Quick. Gender. So the adjective must change to match the noun in gender. Number, I'rab, and definite, indefinite. So for example, we sing a forgiving Lord. So you have Rabbun. So that is what? Indefinite, marfu, wahid, mudhakkar. So you have to say Ghafoorun as well. Same thing. It must be indefinite, it must be indefinite, it must be marfu, must be wahid, must be muzakkar. So an adjective, why normally give examples, carbon copy. You have two receipts, you put one on top, one on the bottom, whatever you write, what happens? It copies out exactly the same. So obviously the word will be different, but the tanween, the alif lam, the ma'rifah, nakira, everything will carbon copy. The sifa will be a carbon copy in terms of grammar of the mousuf, meaning they will match in ding. You understand? The noun and the adjective will be a carbon copy of each other. They have the same grammatical rules in terms of ding. Make sense? Yeah. Look at this example. Nabi means what?
Prophet.
Prophet. And ummi means unlettered, meaning somebody who is unable to read or write. Now, this is a mousuf, this is a noun and adjective. Why? Because Nabi is a noun and ummi is unlettered. It's an adjective. And they match in ding. Definite, definite. Marfu, marfu. Wahid, wahid. Muzakkar, muzakkar. So what does this mean? Now, when you translate this, you translate the opposite way. Why? Because the English adjective and noun is adjective, noun in English. And Arabic is noun, adjective, noun, adjective. But you don't translate word for word. You don't say prophet unlettered. What do you have to say? Unlettered prophet. Now, the question arises, what's the difference between a mubtada khabar and a noun adjective? In the mubtada khabar, the second word is always what?
Adjective.
Adjective also is nakira.
Okay.
So, look at it this way. If they match in ding, it's noun and adjective. If they match in ing, there's what? If they match in ing and disagree in the d, it's mubtada khabar. So for example, if you want to make this into mubtada khabar, what would you say? An-nabiyyu ummiyun. The Nabi is unlettered. And when you make this, if they disagree in ma'rifa nakira, they become mubtada khabar. And if they agree in ma'rifa nakira, what do they become? Noun and adjective. So this is the unlettered prophet. And if it was a sentence, it would become an-nabiyyu ummiyun. The prophet is unlettered. Make sense?
Yeah.
Another example. Let's go through this one. Your turn. So we have this here.
Ajrun azimun.
Ajrun azim. Ajrun means reward, and azimun means
Great.
great. Okay. So now, how do you do? What is this mousuf? Is this a noun and adjective?
Yeah.
Yes. How do you know? How do you know? He told you it matches. Is a noun and adjective. How do you know it's a noun and adjective? What's the main thing you have to look at?
It matches number.
Does it match in ding? So sorry, D.
Definite, indefinite.
Are they both indefinite?
Yeah.
Are they both same Arab?
Yeah.
Same number?
Yeah.
Same gender?
Yeah.
So how do you translate it?
The reward is great.
The reward? Is that adjective or is that a sentence? The reward is great. Is that an adjective or is that a sentence?
The great reward.
The great reward. So it's the great first reward. If it was the reward is great, what would it have become? What would it have become?
So you'd have a definite in there.
This will have to be definite, ma'rifah. So then this will be ma'rifah and it's nakira. It will be?
The before it.
Yes, so al-ajru azimun. The reward is great. And ajrun azimun,
Is the great reward.
not the, ajrun nakira. So,
A great reward.
a great reward. You understand? Next one. Ayatun bayyinatun.
So a clarifying sign.
So bayyina means clear, and ayah means sign. It can also mean verse. So what does this mean here?
So a clear verse.
A clear verse. Okay, tell me why you translate that. Where is there no is in a sentence in your translation?
So, they're both nakira.
Mm-hmm.
They're both the same Arab.
Same Arab,
They have the same number,
which is
singular,
singular,
and the same gender.
same gender. So they have to be what?
Adjective.
Why can't it be mubtada khabar?
Because they're both nakira.
They're both nakira. And if you want, and so they match in ding, and the mubtada only matches in what? Ing, the ing. So if now, how do you make this into a mubtada khabar sentence?
We add a definite and an indefinite.
How do you make ayatul ma'rifah?
Al-ayatu.
Al-ayatu bayyinatun. So the transition of this sentence is what?
A clear verse.
A clear verse or a clear sign. And if you make it into a sentence, it becomes what? Al-ayatu bayyinatun.
The verse is clear.
The verse is clear. Is this clear for you? The sentence, what we're doing?
Yeah.
Right. Next one. Ma means what?
Water.
Water. Mubarakun means
Blessed.
blessed. So translation of this will be
A blessed water.
a blessed water or some blessed water. This blessed water on its own. We'll discuss the detailed translation later on. So blessed water. Is this noun adjective or mubtada khabar?
Noun adjective.
Why is it noun adjective?
Because they both match in ding, which is they're both indefinite. Both got similar Arab. They both match in number wahid, and they're both mudhakkar gender.
Yeah. Your turn. This one.
Ayatun bayyinatun.
No, it's ayatun.
Ayatun bayyinatun.
So ayatun bayyinatun. So what is this?
Right. So it's a clear
But
verse.
but is it a clear?
No, it's the
Why is
verse is clear.
Is it the verse is clear?
Yeah.
Why is it? You adding the word is inside of this? Yeah? Why are you adding the word is?
No, I shouldn't be.
Why not?
Because no, I am, because it's definite.
What's definite?
They're both, because like they're both matching ding. So they're both definite.
They're both definite. What's the tanween?
To me, this is a sign of being indefinite.
Indefinite. So if they're both indefinite, they both match in indefinite.
Yeah, so you can't have is.
So once they match in D, it's not a sentence.
Right.
It's a noun adjective. So is that translation correct?
No.
So an ayah is a singular, is it plural?
It's
Has atun.
It's singular.
Singular? Do you agree? Is it singular?
No, it's plural.
Why is it plural?
Because it has atun on the end.
What kind of plural? Is it mukassar or salim?
Mukassar.
You can always test come back from all the other stuff. Is it mukassar or salim?
Son.
Muzakkar or muannas salim?
Salim mu'annath.
Salim muannas atun. And that's why this also matches to become muannas salim.
Yeah.
So what would it be? Translation.
A clear verse.
A clear verse. But you said it's jama'. Because it's jam', it's going to be a clear verse or verses. Because it's jama', isn't it? So how do you translate it?
These clear verses.
Why are you bringing the word these for? So
To translate it to English.
clear.
To make it more sense.
No, it makes sense. This as it is.
Okay.
Clear
Verses.
verses. Okay. Right. Now, going on. Let's do the Arabic analysis of this. Another example. Rasulun means what?
A messenger.
A messenger. And Kareem means noble. So it's a Quranic ayah. So Rasulun Kareemun means what? How you translate this?
A noble.
The Prophet is?
Noble.
The Prophet is noble.
Yeah.
Correct?
Sorry.
No.
The Prophet is noble.
A noble prophet.
Why not the Prophet is noble?
Because they're both
Okay.
nakira.
You see a mistake? Or you don't understand?
Yeah.
So it's not the Prophet is noble because they both match in what?
Definite.
Definite. And once they match, it can't be what? Mubtada khabar. It has to be what? Mubtada khabar. Sorry. Once they match, it has to be what? Noun, adjective. And if they disagree in D, one is ma'rifah, one is nakira. The first is ma'rifah, second is nakira. This becomes what now?
Sentence.
Sentence. But they both match. So this has to become what? A phrase. A descriptive phrase. This is the noun, this is the adjective. What's the Arabic word for this? Mousuf. What's this called?
Mousuf.
Mousuf. So when you have a descriptive phrase, you have mousuf, and then this is called the sifa. There's other names for it as well. I don't know if you might learn it with not man'ut, but this is what we use here, and that's fine.
Okay, so what exactly are you calling mousuf?
The thing you are describing. Mousuf literally means, you know, ism maf'ul?
Yeah, from before.
So wasafa means to describe. Mousuf, the thing being described, which is a noun. And the sifa is the adjective, which describes this.
Alright.
Okay? And then this mousuf sifa join to become part of the bigger sentence. For example, another example here. Muhammadun Rasulun Kareemun. Now, you got to set, now the sentence is getting a bit bigger, isn't it? It's not 2 words anymore, it's 3 words. So what's the first question we need to ask? Is this jumlatun ismiya or is this jumlatun fa'liya? What's your answer?
Ismiya.
Why is it ismiya?
The first word is a noun.
First word is a noun. So straight away we know it's jumlatun ismiya. Correct? Right. Now, when you have jumlatun ismiya, the next thing our mind should be asking is what?
Mubtada khabar.
What's the mubtada? What's the khabar? So what is the mubtada? Who are we talking about? Muhammadun sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That's the mubtada. And now, what's happened here?
2 words of khabar.
2 words. This is what you call a phrase. 2 words now. So we have 1 slot. Because mubtada khabar is jumla ismiya will always be only 2 slots. But the 2 slots now be ripped in half. That these 2 join become a single unit. They form, they join together. And then this becomes the khabar.
Yeah.
But how is this a link? You can't say, well, 2 words become khabar. What's the link between these 2 words?
Mousuf and sifa.
Mousuf and sifa. So first thing you ask is, what kind of sentence is it? Once you've realized that, or once you've solved that problem, you have to then find the main slots. If it's jumla fi'liya, we'll discuss another example later on. And here we have jumla ismiya. So you have mubtada and the khabar. But the khabar is 2 words. How are these 2 words linked? Via what kind of structure? A mousuf sifa structure. And how you know it's mousuf? Because they match in all of D-I-N-G. This is not mousuf sifa. Why? They don't match in D-I-N-G. Because This is ma'rifah nakira?
Marifa.
Ma'rifah. So because this is ma'rifah, this is nakira, we know that this is what kind of differentiation? Mubtada khabar. Make sense? Another one. Arsala means to what?
Send.
To send. So is it ism fa'il or harf?
Harf. I mean, fi'l.
Fa'il. Holly's got you a bit in it. So arsala is to send. So it's a verb. So straight away, what kind of sentence is it going to be? Jumla fi'liya. Sorry, that's a mistake. It's jumlatun fi'liya. So it's jumla ismiya. I wrote jumla ismiya. It's jumla fi'liya. Jumla fi'liya. And straight away, what should we be asking now? What slots are we looking for?
Fail.
Fa'il,
Fa'il.
fa'il,
Maf'ul.
maf'ul. Is this maf'ul on its own, or is that two joined together become maf'ul?
Join together.
Join together.
Joined together become maf'ul. And then we see the maf'ul is made up of what? Mousuf sifa. How do you know it's mousuf sifa? D, I, N, G, they match. Do you understand? So what's happened? We're using the same jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya here. And now we're breaking the fa'il and the maf'ul or the mubtada and the khabar into slots, into phrases. What's a phrase? When two or more words join, for now it's only two words, join to become one slot. And we have more examples of this. So we're doing phrases now, but the first phrase we done is descriptive phrase, which is made up of what? Mousuf and sifa. Do you understand? And then mousuf sifa join to become what? What does mousuf sifa call a sentence?
Maf'ul.
Always maf'ul?
No, it could be
The
any
cover
of the
could be
slots.
mubtada.
Any of the slots? Any of the slots?
Except for fail.
Except fail. So the phrase takes the slot of any place where an ism could have come.
Oh, yeah.
So a phrase is when two or more words join to take the place of a join to become one unit, grammatical unit, and that takes the place of what? Ism. That's what a phrase is. And the first phrase we've studied today is called the descriptive phrase, which is the mousuf and the sifa. Mousuf sifa. Make sense? Do you have any questions? You understand? Yeah. So again, you see how it's all linking up? We had words. We studied the words, the ism in Nahw. We done a bit of verbs in sarf. And then what happened? We put them together as a jumla. We said that all these words join together to become a jumla. Then now we're going a bit further. We're saying, well, all these slots, obviously sentences are not that simple all the time. These slots can be broken down into more detail. And then two or more words can link together to take one slot. Make sense? Yeah? You understand? سبحان الله بحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد ان لا اله الا انت ونستغفرك ونتوب اليك